Hi everybody, Tracy from Food Did This. I'm very new to the filming and documenting of my journey, but I do find this very important because food is a huge part of our lives and it can be used to heal us. I do believe I've seen it firsthand. This is our kitchen. Welcome to our kitchen. One of the things I've been doing lately is trying some new recipes. I've been eating carnivore for 8 months now, and I didn't really look into a bunch of recipes. I thought, how many can there really be? I'm just eating meat. Turns out there are some pretty good recipes out there. Another recipe I'm very excited to try today. It is a macaroni and cheese. I don't eat dairy. I gave up dairy about 6 months ago, though my better half, he has recently decided to join me on the carnivore journey. He's 2 months into it and he feels better than he has in years. He does eat dairy and I'm very excited to make this dish for him. I think it's going to be a nice comfort dish. It has really great reviews. It is a mac and cheese, carnivore mac and cheese, and there's a secret ingredient which is kind of wacky, and I'll show you right now. This is the secret ingredient, shrimp. I was able to get this shrimp at Aldi 2 days ago, and you can see the ingredients. They're very clean. It's just shrimp, and a lot of the others have an extra ingredient in there, and we're actually very clean in the way that we eat. So this recipe is not my recipe. It's one that I got off YouTube from another carnivore that I follow. He goes by Chris Cooking in Nashville. Chris does seem to allow himself dairy, so a lot of the things he makes, like I said, I don't eat. But this shrimp pasta / mac and cheese, I am gonna give a try. I'm pretty sure I'm very lactose intolerant. I haven't necessarily tried to reintroduce it back into my diet, but one of the ingredients I'm gonna be substituting, Chris uses cream cheese. Those of you that look at labels at all, you'll know that cream cheese has a lot of extra things in it that other cheese doesn't. But at Walmart, surprisingly, I found this brand, and the only ingredient in it is skim milk, whole milk, cream, sea salt, live and active cultures. And it only calls for 3 tablespoons in the whole recipe, so I'm going to use that cottage cheese in lieu of the cream cheese. We'll see how it goes. So the whole recipe, it's pretty much, this is it. It's gonna be 1.5 cups of these shrimpies, 3 tablespoons of this cottage cheese, 1 tablespoon of beef gelatin, and 4 whole eggs. I'm gonna blend this in a blender until it is liquefied. I'll be back here at that point to show you the texture of it. We're almost finished at that point. This is gonna be so easy. I'm excited to see what it is. And this is a very loud blender. This is not the one I usually use. I'm just going to knock these things down off of the side to make sure it's all incorporated. Okay, so this is all blended up and it is definitely liquefied. This is what it looks like now. I wouldn't say it smells fishy or shrimpy, but it smells like a delicious saltiness of Chinese restaurant. Yeah, I mean, it smells good. I bet it will taste like a delicious egg pasta. Chris from Cooking Nashville uses rubber, I'm not going to think of the name of the mat that he uses, the nonstick silicone mat. Anyway, I'm going to be using parchment paper. So I'm just going to put equal parts in each one of these, the best that I can. And then, no need to watch me do this. I'm gonna spread them out very thinly in the bottom of both of these pans. Put them in a preheated oven that's preheated to 325. And I believe they're going to stay in there for 15 to 18 minutes. And this is what they look like after I have smoothed them out the best that I can. And as mentioned, I omitted the powdered egg white protein. So hopefully this turns out. You guys, it's been cooking for about 7 minutes and it definitely smells like delicious Chinese food. I did just check on the sheets of pasta that are baking in the oven. They went for 15 minutes and they're still glossy and you can see that they're still wet. One of Chris's tips for being able to tell they were done, because there's going to be no color difference whatsoever, they lose their shine and they look dry. You can see that they start pulling away from the edge. So that's what I'm looking for. Feels pretty sturdy. Pretty pliable. Still has a little bit of shine. But maybe that's because I didn't use the egg powder. It's definitely cooked all the way. Okay. So the next step of this is to cut these however wide you'd want your macaroni noodles to be long. And you do that all the way down, so forth and so forth. Then you stack them up on each other, flip them around, cut them long ways. Okay, so this is the meat. I saved a couple of those shrimpies. I'm getting ready to saute up my pasta, shrimp pasta, in this pan. Mostly this pan because I don't have a better one to use. Then I'm going to melt a little bit of some cream top milk that he has, as well as some of that shredded mozzarella, and probably a little bit of the Parmesan sprinkled on top. Make him like a little mac and cheese, a little surf and turf mac and cheese with some bacon bits on top. Okay, so he said stir these around, make sure they all get coated in butter, and they'll go through a point evidently where they start sticking to each other. Then once they stop sticking to each other, that's how we know that they're ready, because that's when all the moisture evidently is cooked out of them. So keep an eye out for that next phase. Okay, so they are getting slightly golden brown and they're not sticking together anymore. I'm going to turn this off. My special human is almost home. I'm not going to mention anything about this other than it is macaroni and cheese, Carnivore Mac-n-Cheese. He's not going to want to be filmed, but I'm going to try to get his reaction the best I can. I have decided to not give these a try. I'm too nervous about what that cottage cheese might do to my tummy, so I'm going to try to get his reaction to these as organically as I can. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and probably a little bit of white pepper for him. See you guys back here when he tastes it. Taste it and tell me if you think it's comparable to any kind of mac and cheese you've had.
It is very mac and cheesy.
Very mac and cheesy?
Yeah, it's very mac and cheesy. Not necessarily a noodle texture, but definitely mac and cheese flavors.
Okay. And is the texture doable?
Oh, the texture is great. It's just whatever this is, it's a little bit tougher than noodles, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more chewy, but it reminds me a lot of macaroni and cheese, for sure. 100%.
Guess what the main ingredient is?
What?
Shrimp.
This is chunks of shrimp.
Cocktail shrimp.
I never would have guessed that.
Blend it up in a blender with egg, a little bit of gelatin, and I feel like there was something else, but okay.
It's amazing.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for the feedback.